Welcome to the City of Gahanna's 2020 State of the City Address. As you might expect, this is not the presentation of the State of the City that we had planned. Like most cities, we had planned to hold our State of the City in a large venue, open to the public, with more than 100 residents, businesses, city stakeholders, and government officials in attendance. We planned to hold the event at one of Gahanna's preeminent businesses, the Edge Innovative Hub, a business that is owned and operated by the Grody family, and a business that is focused on developing cutting-edge technology, offering an environment of forward thinking and new ideas, while also incorporating an altruistic approach to their business, and a company that understands their role in building community in Gahanna. I would like to thank Craig Turner, Tom Grody, and Bob Grody for their willingness to be our hosts for the event, and I hope that we will be able to partner again with them soon. In partnership with the Gahanna Area Chamber of Commerce, our sponsorship host, we had planned to offer a taste of Gahanna with dishes from unique Gahanna restaurants offering the best of our food. Nearly 24 local service area and nonprofit organizations had planned to be in attendance, sharing information on what they do to build community in Gahanna and how you can get involved. In addition, state, regional, and local officials had RSVP'd to attend as a demonstration of the collaborative partnerships that we share around the Columbus region, and also to show what we can achieve together when we work together to build community. We had planned to introduce you to all of the people who comprise the city, the people who work every day to build community in Gahanna. Our City Council, Councilman Jamie Leesburg, President, Vice President Nancy McGregor, Finance Chair Michael Schnetzer, Council members Brian Lyrick, Stephen Renner, Karen Angelo, and Marissa Bowers had all planned to attend as a show of our legislative branch of government. Our judicial branch of government also planned to be in attendance with our City Attorney Ray Malarski and his team. And of course, our administrative branch of government, the senior leadership team here at City Hall, the 15 directors who oversee a collective 230 employees who go to work every day to ensure that services are being provided to our businesses and our residents. Last but not least, we were excitedly looking forward to sharing with you all that we had accomplished in our first 60 days and what lies ahead for Gahanna. Clearly, I am not in that environment today. Rather than speaking to you in public and in person, I am standing in an empty City Hall that has now been closed due to the threat of the coronavirus. Less than 90 days ago, we were focused on building community together and our theme for the year. Now, previously unknown words and phrases such as COVID-19 and social distancing and flattening the curve have become part of our everyday vocabulary. And a daily press conference with our governor and state health director have become a must-see event. Rather than focusing on our theme of building community together, we have shifted to our new theme of supporting community together. I'm extremely grateful for the collaborative way that our city leaders and stakeholders have come together for the good of Gahanna at this time. To our City Council, who unanimously approved legislation that will allow us to swiftly and effectively respond and react as the situation around the COVID-19 virus continues to evolve. To our city attorney, who has been faced with daily challenges on new legal areas that we have to address because of the limitations and restrictions of the COVID-19 virus. To our schools, Superintendent Steve Barrett, his teachers and staff, for working so hard to make sure that students are being fed while school is out, and for ensuring that learning continues to happen despite challenging environments. To Chief Fred Kauser and the Mifflin Township Fire Department and his trustees for ensuring that fire and EMS services continue without disruption and that they are being provided in a way that implements protective measures to protect both our residents as well as our first responders. And of course, to our Gahanna Police Department, Chief Jeff Spence, Deputy Chief Jeff Lawless, and all of the men and women of the Gahanna Police Department who are on our streets 24/7 facing this unseen enemy as they work to keep our community safe. I would like to thank them for their tremendous leadership and partnership as we navigate these uncharted waters together. We will continue to work together to ensure that services are being provided, that our communities remain safe, and that you have the information that you need as quickly as possible. Like every individual, every business, every city, and every state right now, we have had to pivot quickly and adjust our operations in order to comply with the restrictions that are being imposed as a result of COVID-19. As I mentioned, City Hall is now officially closed to the public, and we are conducting all of our business online, by email, or by phone. The majority of our city employees are now working remotely from home, conducting their business online or by email, and ensuring that services are continuing. Because of the outpouring of support from the public, we have created a new position to help guide community efforts and to ensure that we are offering support in a safe environment that reduces the risk of community spread of the virus. Brian Gill, our recreation superintendent, has graciously agreed to temporarily fill the new role of Community Outreach Coordinator. In that role, he will work with local organizations, churches, and individuals to oversee volunteer efforts and to match those who are in need with those who can provide it. One of my main goals for 2020 was to increase our communications with our residents, and that commitment has become even more heightened in the face of this public health crisis. I want to assure you that we will continue to find new methods to communicate with you so that we are open and transparent with you in our daily operations. You need to know what is happening and why. There is no time more important than now to ensure that we are offering open and transparent operations and communications. Consistent with my goal of increasing our resident communications, we began to live stream council meetings via Facebook from the first week of January for residents to be engaged and informed and to understand the decisions that are being made within the city. In light of COVID-19, new equipment also has been purchased that will allow us to directly live stream council meetings to our website, gahanna.gov, with improved sound and visibility. And as COVID-19 continues to evolve, we are prepared to make adjustments as needed to keep you informed and to ensure that we are providing open and transparent operations. We hope that someday soon, the threat and impact of the coronavirus will be a memory, and that we will be able to pick up where we left off just one short month ago. We were operating at full speed ahead in planning, taking steps to build the foundation that is necessary to move Gahanna forward. And we accomplished a great deal in just 60 days. Initially, as I mentioned, we focused on increasing communications with our residents, not only through live streaming council meetings, but also in establishing a more active presence on our social media platforms. Efforts were also underway to update our website, making information more accessible and easier to find. We began to build our team, filling positions that had been open over the last year and filling critical leadership positions. One of the first decisions I made was to hire a communications manager, Karen Wester, who has been working diligently to make sure that you have the information you need as quickly as we receive it. I promoted Grant Crawford to the position of Director of Public Services and Engineering. Grant has been with the city for many years and has already proven to be a stalwart leader in his department. I promoted Stephanie Farrell as our new Director of Parks and Recreation, and in just 2 months' time, she has already demonstrated vision and planning and leadership to move her team forward. A job description has been posted for one of our most critical positions, that of Development Director, and that job description is being circulated all around Ohio and through development communities. In the meantime, I have hired a development consultant who will continue to help us move Gahanna forward so that we do not lose ground to our competitor communities, and who will help us and guide us in establishing smart economic development that best meets the needs of our community and that best positions Gahanna for the future. I hired a marketing manager, Mary Simkowiak, to begin an earnest campaign to let everyone know that Gahanna is open for business and that Gahanna means business. I appointed a safety director, Keith Wynn, who brings decades of public safety experience to the job and who has been recognized for his work in building diversity within his workforce and building relationships within the community. For the first time in years, our recreations team was fully staffed and was eagerly planning and preparing for expanded programming to offer to our seniors and for camps. We were in the process of realigning our departments to improve the efficiencies of our operations. For example, we were separating planning from development and moving the zoning and building departments underneath a city planner in order to streamline our permitting processes. This also would make it more convenient and more efficient for developers as they look to invest in Gahanna. In addition, we eliminated the deputy director positions in every department, rather than simply fill an open box on an organizational chart. We evaluated the services that were being performed in every department and identified the functions that we need the most to effectively provide services to residents, and then created the positions around the functions that need to be performed to ensure that the departments are maximizing their efficiencies in operation. Thanks to the overwhelming support of our residents through Issue 12 last year, we were able to emphasize our public safety functions. We hired 3 new officers who are currently in the police academy, and we expect them to join our force sometime in June. A 4th officer was hired and began March 2nd. In the interim, our Gahanna Police Department has provided integral leadership and development and partnership, formulating our emergency operations plan to lead us through this crisis. We were on the verge of the largest street program ever embraced by our city. We were planning to increase the amount of road rebuilds by 135%. Along similar lines, we were planning to increase our road resurfacing by 32%, hitting more than 4.5 miles of roads. We were partnering with the City of Columbus in their widening project for Morris Road, and we were also preparing to partner with the Franklin County Engineering Department in their work on the intersection at Clark State Road to help improve safety and traffic flow. Just a few weeks ago, Council approved a contract that would allow us to begin review and work of our design code. This will allow Gahanna's community to have a voice in what you want Gahanna to look like for the future, from building design to color palette to signage and more. This will dictate building standards for development and will also make the process easier for developers by providing consistency and clarity as to what to expect when they want to invest their money in our community. We were about to begin a strategic planning phase for our team. Rather than spending more money on more plans that you have already participated in, we were going to take the myriad of plans that have been communicated and completed over the last 10 years and formulate them into one cohesive roadmap that would allow us to prioritize projects as we move forward. Just like many of you will have to readjust your own budget and planning, the city is also going to have to readjust and plan for the future. Programs that we had in mind for 2020 have already been postponed, and some may be postponed for later in the year until 2021 or perhaps even longer. We are evaluating our operations on a weekly basis and making adjustments as necessary as we respond to the public health crisis that we are facing. Good government is flexible and always puts its residents first, and we will continue to do that for you. Good government plans for multiple scenarios, and we have those plans in place. We will be focused on maintaining and providing critical services to our residents and businesses throughout this public health crisis and beyond. Be assured that no matter what happens around us, we will continue to communicate openly with you, and we will work hard to get the information that you need and want into your hands. We understand that you have questions, and we will do our best to answer those questions as quickly as we can and as thoroughly as we can. Every week we have been faced with challenges, but we have met them head on. We've worked through them with teamwork, with strong collaboration, and with partnership, and with open communication. I want to assure you that the team we have in place at City Hall right now has already demonstrated a willingness to do whatever it takes to continue to provide services that you need and to ensure that your needs are being met. Whether it is agreeing to absorb a new job that has been created in order to meet a challenge that arises, whether it's finding new ways to communicate with you through restrictions that are in place, or whether it's finding creative ways to come up with new programming to meet the needs of our community, our team has been doing this. We are here for you. When COVID-19 has passed, we will pick up the pieces, we will put them back together, and we will move forward. We don't know what that will look like right now, and it may not be what we had planned 3 months ago. but we will get back to the business of moving Gahanna forward. In the meantime, I would like to thank the many residents who have taken the time to send a note of support, whether an email, a text, a phone call, to me and to members of our staff. These are stressful times for all of us, and I cannot begin to tell you how much those notes have meant to us and have helped to motivate us through some dark days. It is times like these when cities discover who they truly are. And this is when Gahanna does what Gahanna does best. We support one another, we care about one another. To organizations such as GRIN, who have been working so very hard to ensure that families, students, and elderly within our community are receiving meals and food that they need. And to the community who has been donating to support the work of GRIN. In less than a 2-week period, more than $22,000 was donated to GRIN to support their mission. And in the month of March, more than 12,000 pounds of food has been distributed. To Neighborhood Bridges, who has been partnering with GRIN and supporting their work in organizing food donations, and who has been taking steps to ensure that furniture, clothing, appliances are getting to the people who need it the most. To our schools, who made sure that more than 350 kids are receiving lunch through the grab-and-go lunch programs while the schools are closed. To our churches and organizations who are voluntarily launching donation programs to collect food and activities to distribute to those in our community. And to the individuals around our community who set up tables in their front yard with toilet paper and canned goods in case somebody driving by might need something. This is what Gahanna does best. I applied for this job a year ago, and you hired me in November. And I can tell you that I have never been more honored to be in this role than I am today. I know the heart of our community and the people in it. I know our schools, I know our churches, and I know our organizations. We have the most important resource that will get us through this crisis, and that resource is our people. That resource is you. While the overall goal of our team in 2020 remains building community together, for the time being, we must shift that focus to supporting community together, supporting Gahanna together. I have never been more proud of our community and of you. You have already shown your willingness to put focus not on yourselves, but on your neighbors, to show care and concern for one another. Let's keep showing compassion, let's keep showing caring, and let's keep coming up with creative ways to address the challenges that we are facing right now with the COVID-19 virus. We will beat this, and we will build community together someday. In the meantime, stay safe and be well. Thank you.